Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today it's going to be a match between Flash and Hero here on Fighting Spirit. Bottom left-hand corner, the purple Terran player, his name is Flash. And in the bottom right-hand corner, the brown Zerg player, Hero! Now, I've cast a bunch of Hero, but I realized I hadn't really introduced him to the channel yet. So I pulled him up on Liquipedia. And basically, he became noticed by many fans when he upset the #1 ELO ranked player at the time, Bisu, 2-0, in the round of 36 in an OSL tournament, known as the Neo July, due to him employing the same trademark aggressive style as July, as well as being on the same team as July. Before beating Bisu, he had defeated Ruby 2-1 and qualified out of his group. He was placed in Group B of the round of 16 with Fantasy, Lita, and Tester. He defeated Tester and Fantasy in group play and managed to force a tiebreak with the two Terrans. And in tiebreak, Fantasy defeated Lati, then Hero, leaving up to the final match to decide who would qualify second. Hero managed to overcome Lita on Tears of the Moon to move on to the round of 8. Heroes then matched up against Hwasin in a best of 3, a series who won to move on to the semifinals to earn the right to play against Jaedong in a ZVZ. And then got 3-0'd by Jaedong. Okay, so that was the first time he got noticed back in 2008. And I'm not entirely sure when this was played. It was from a Team Liquid replay pack. But let's get right on into it anyway. Okay, so this is going to be a hatch first play here from Hero. No pool first, which means he's not planning on being aggressive. We have a Rax first here from Flash. Just, you know, just standard stuff. Command Center first would be pretty greedy, but you can get away with it as long as the Zerg goes hatch first and doesn't cancel and throw it on a pool and then come Ling Rush you. Scouting is this drone the wrong direction, but his Overlord is going to go ahead and see. Wait, hold on a second. Wait. No, you didn't scout, actually. You didn't actually scout. The SCV, I don't know, the SCV coming here doesn't actually tell you anything for where Flash is. This is weird. Did he expect there to be a command center? Well, now he can see it. All right, so it's a 1 Rax expand here from Flash. Nothing too crazy at all. There's that spawning pool going down. No gas quite yet here for Hero, indicating it's probably not going to be Mutaplay. Probably not going to be anything too crazy gas heavy at all. If you want to get that Mutaplay, you almost have to start it about this time to get that lair up, and then get the Spire, and then get the Mutas. It's very, very gas intensive and very gas heavy. Look at him bringing the drones over to the hatchery before it's even complete, timing that really well. I mean, Hero, like I said, the first time he got noticed, he 2-0'd Bisu. So this dude is serious, serious business. I did knock up the volume in my casts just a little bit. If you are interested in giving me feedback on that, I'd appreciate it, honestly. There's this little tiny notch I can do. I can do volume at level 1 or at level 2. Or like 2 through 18. Any higher than 2 is crazy high. This is 2. And 1, I just feel like was a little bit too low. I've been running with 1 recently in my most recent casts. And it just feels like you can't quite feel the action. You can't quite hear what's going on. Hear the screams of the dead or the explosions or the tank shots. You know, all that stuff that brings you back to your Brood War days and all you've loved from this game for 20 years. Macro hatch coming up for Hero, and for those of you who are confused by that term, it's just a way to increase your macro, to get you more larvae, get you more drones, get you more income, make you more units. It's generally the strategy here. Overlord scouting, no quick third here from Hero, and he is going for that double gas now. So 1 gas up, 2nd gas up, and he is going for the lair. So for all I was talking about, maybe not a Mutalisk opening, it appears it very well could be here from Hero. We'll keep an eye on this. He probably just started his extractor a bit later than I was expecting him to. Factory on the way here from Flash. He does love his factory units. He's incredibly good with bio too. There's really nothing in the Terran arsenal that Flash isn't good at, if we're being honest with ourselves. This SCV is actually doing a pretty good job scouting. He's going to get in. He's going to see the 2nd gas. He's going to see the lair. The lair timing on that pretty darn early. And there's not a 3rd base either. I believe this SCV was up north a ways, checking to see if there's a 3rd coming, and there's not. And that's got to tell him a whole ton of stuff. Speed on the way for those Zerglings, metabolic boost up. The scouting SCV gives his life for that information. Ling's at the front trying to do some stuff, but no, not going to happen. There's a bunker at the front. Really hard to break that with just Zerglings. And that is going to be a starport and an armory in production now too, which tells us we're probably going to see Valkyrie in response to this definite Spire. So definitely a Spire opening from Hero. Proving me wrong, as I get a lot of the comments. You are wrong about a lot of things, Falcon. Well, yeah, but I'm right about things too, right? I feel like I am. But yeah, learning here. I've got to learn some of those timings. I mean, I knew to look for double gas if it was going to be a Mutalisk play, but I expected the first gas to start a little bit earlier, but it looks like he's got it figured out. He's got 500, 600 gas here, really getting up. The Spire is about 50% complete. And yeah, I really think we're going to see that as a control tower coming up on that starport. And factory, where is my armory at? There it is. There's the armory. All right, so I think we're going to see Valkyrie, which I really love. One of my favorite units in all of StarCraft. Just anything that has that kind of blue, misty, ghosty effect. I really like the Charon booster upgrade for Goliaths for that very reason. It just makes me pleased. I think it's because when the Brood War upgrade came out, that was a new thing there. One of the new things was Charon boosters. One of the new things was also the Valkyrie's existence. Valkyries did not exist at all. And it is going to be a Valkyrie to deal with this Muta, which is just such a great answer. Splash damage, a lot of attacks, a lot of damage. Mutas do tend to clump up, and Flash knows exactly what to do to deal with this early aggression out of Hero. Neo July, indeed, from this kid. I mean, he's not a kid anymore. I think by the time he played this, it was probably 2012 or so, 4 or 5 years after this 2008 write-up from OSL. Anyway, 11 Mutas in production, man. 11 is a lot of Mutalisk. There they come. There they pop. Let's keep them. Let's watch their health as they do this. It's generally really useful to get the Mutalisk health here as they're flying around trying to get stuff done. Now, missile turrets up. 2 missile turrets at the southern section of the natural, as is tradition here, trying to pick off some of these SCVs. Taking shots, though, not really, can't actually go after those missile turrets at all. One of the Mutas is very, very injured. I just think Flash is ready for it. I just think he is. I'm not kidding. He's ready to go. Zerglings out here, 2 Marines pushing out with some Valkyrie supports. And yeah, I don't know, oh boy. Yeah. Did one of the Mutas die? Yeah, one of the Mutas got picked off immediately there. Heading up, he really doesn't want to allow Hero to take this top right-hand corner base, because a 3-basing Zerg turns into a 4-basing Zerg very, very quickly. But if you're out of town, oh, this Valkyrie needs to get some shots off before he gets picked off, and he does get picked off. But 2 more Valkyrie come in and do chase the Mutalisks away quite effectively. Man, these Mutas are all severely injured, so purple, as the Valkyries are on a high-speed chase to kill all of them. They are not as fast as Mutas are, but if Mutas stop running, the Valkyries will eventually catch up, and they decide to give up instead. Now, again, the important thing here is that this 3rd base does not go down. Flash wants to stop it, but there are Lings out, there are Mutas flying around. The Mutas are effectively dead is the problem. Scourge trying to pick off some of those Valkyries too. Just kind of setting up in the middle here. Medics healing. Marines ready to rock. We're moving into range. We've got +1 attack coming in for the Marines too. Definitely a bio play at this stage. That is, my goodness. Lurkers on the way and a Queen's Nest from Hero. He is really teching up fast in this game. Did he lose his Mutas? No, the Mutas... Oh, ow, 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 ow. All right, well, they're picking off some of these straggling dudes, which is fine. I really think that Flash is okay with that. He's going to come up this ramp. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Are the Lurkers going to be able to burrow in time? And they do. They burrow at the top of the ramp, and now it's impossible to get up here. This is exactly what you have to do if you're Hero. If you're any Zerg player in a TVZ on this map, you're got to take this expansion far away from home at the other spawn location, get some Lurkers, put them at the top of the ramp, and then you can establish your 4th base down here. It's so good. Hero has been able to pull that off. It was very fast. It was very, very fast that Flash got up here, but he's able to delay just enough with the Lings, just enough with the Mutas to where he was allowed to get those Lurkers out and secure it. And you'll notice that Flash isn't even bothering anymore. He's turning his attention to maybe attack into the natural base, but there are Sunkens and there are Lurkers here. Lings trying to get all sorts of shenaniganery run-bys up along the left side here. The Mutas are still pretty purple. Zerg players do regenerate health over time, so eventually they'll come back. Wow, free medic though. Free medic for sure. And just on 2 base right now is time. A 3rd base, a 4th base is entirely possible for Hero if he wants to go for it. The Marine, these little Marine balls though, the control by Flash is always so amazing. And Flash is even getting a 3rd base of his own. Because you know he would. You know he will. He might have overmade Valkyries a little bit. I really don't see Hero going into Mutalisks at any stage right now. And maybe that's because of the presence of the Valkyries, right? It's a chicken or the egg sort of a thing. Do you make the Valkyries so mutas don't come out, but then you make the Valkyries and it looks like they're not useful, but they are doing their job by preventing Mutalisks from being made at all at this stage. I mean, 3 Valkyries. Serious business. All right, so is there going to be a 4th base? Not really. Not really right now. These Marines, they really don't want to go up that ramp. They're saying, Flash, please don't make us go up that ramp. Please don't do it, man. I'm really not interested in going up that ramp and getting massacred by lurkers. They're too scary. They're too scary for me. I've always wondered what's in here. This little vault thing. It's like a Fallout style thing. Oh, I didn't realize there was a drop ship. Well, one way to get past these lurkers is, well, make them move by, first of all, dropping up. Overlord's getting destroyed here. Supply blocking Hero quite nicely. Marines getting behind this mineral line. Focusing down some of these drones. Well done. Fantastic display here of Marine control and positioning by Flash. A lot of drones getting massacred right now. Coming up the ramp. Whoa! Did he hold position that lurker? I think he hold position that lurker. Held positioned that lurker? I don't know. I don't know how to say that grammatically, but dang. That lurker's got 7 kills. I really think he was holding position there. If he'd been attacking the whole time, there's no way that Flash runs onto that position. He didn't know. Well, a lot of Overlords getting picked off. Valkyries are doing their job that way. Hero is effectively supply blocked right now. But the good news is that the 3rd base is alive for Hero. The bad news is that Flash has the 3rd base, and Flash killed a ton of the drones up here too. Vultures trying to pick off some of these guys, taking severe shots from the lurkers. Run, say the Mutalisks. We're all severely injured, and the Valkyries are chasing us. Oop, that Vulture flying over lurkers. Well, zooming over lurkers, not something you want to do at all. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, say the Mutalisks. Yes, so dark. It's just so almost fading from existence there. Is how scary that is. Dude, Hero needs a 4th base. He knows doing real bad. He can't be on even bases with Terran. And look at the mech transition here. That is something that is pretty viable, is you can open bio and move on into mech against Zerg. At least Flash can. I'm going to be honest. I don't know that I've seen too many players other than Flash do this, where they open bio, get a couple upgrades, do some stuff, establish a 3rd, and then move into a billion factories and mech with some support of some bio behind it. I've seen Flash do it more than once here, but definitely not something that has been consistently played by the TVZs that I've cast so far. Another macro hatch coming up, Defiler Mount there. And this is it. This is exactly what Hero needs to get into, is Dark Swarm, is Lurkers, is Defilers, obviously, with Consume and all the upgrades available to them. There is no bad upgrade for Defilers at all. Still, man, Spider Mine's getting thrown down at this 4th base location. Hero needs a 4th, and he's just not doing it. He's had the 3rd for a few minutes now. Yeah, no, that's not a place for you, Vultures. That's a lot of Sunkens and a lot of Lurkers and some Lings here, too. Not going to happen. We will toss down Spider Mines at your front, though, if you're interested, they say. And no, we're absolutely not interested. All right, so finally moving down to take his 4th. Already has a 4th under construction. Does Flash right now. This is just not looking good for Hero at all. Oh, the Vultures, though. Jeez, Vultures get cleaned out real fast. Light units like this. Like Marines, Firebats, Medics, Ghosts, Zerglings, Vultures, they all get torn up by Lurker Spines. 4th base here for Hero. He really needs a 5th at some point, though. Look at him floating his barracks as mobile scouting units here. I'm loving it. I mean, there's really not much point in a stationary scouting unit, right? So, yeah, perhaps a mobile stationary unit is a bit redundant, but that's quite all right. Working on grooved spines to increase Hydralisk efficiency. There's Consume. Somebody left a comment on a previous video that Consume is the most broken ability in all of StarCraft Brood War. I don't know if I agree with that. I've heard a lot of people make some compelling cases for other broken abilities in Brood War, but Consume is really good. To trade a single Zergling for a ton of energy is an incredibly value-centric trade there. Every Zerg player makes it happily all the time, assuming they're going for Defilers at all, which, if they're a decent Zerg player, they should. That said, there are some really decent players out there, like Larva, who just don't care. Who just don't care about Dark Swarm. They will just out-macro you to death and throw units at you until you die. There's no precision. It's just macro, A move, macro, A move, macro, macro, A move, macro. That's the secret code, by the way. All right, so Dark Swarm is up, and, you know, just in time, just in the nick of time here as well. That's a lot of tanks. That is so many tanks for Flash. It's 178 to 106 supply. Man, I know it's normal for Zerg players to be down in this stage of the game, but holy smokes, Flash is just on fire economically. He's at 4 bases to 4 bases. He's trying to set up, actually those are just spider mines. Never mind. He's not going for a 5th base quite yet, but that's okay. He doesn't need to. Vultures have just set up spider mines to contain everywhere. It's to contain everywhere that Hero wants to go. Lurker picked out of the ground. Exploded out of the ground here. Dark Swarm, when it wears off, man, it is problematic. I love that the barracks is scouting here, giving that additional vision to the tanks, because they can shoot farther than they can natively see. If they can borrow somebody's vision, like a barracks, they can shoot further, which is really quite awesome. All right, so Lurker's trying to get in here. Oh man, the Vultures are fighting against the Hydras quite well. +1 attack, +2 attack is on those guys. +1 Carapace is done for the Hydralisks. Yeah, 1 attack there. Okay, so the push out with the Hydra is pretty nice, actually. Hydras trade against Vultures pretty exceptionally. They do not trade against tanks, however, as it turns out. That Dark Swarm, I'm not convinced that was a great position, but it is keeping the Lurker safe, which is really all you want to see here. Tank sets up. Hydras need to get back into the Dark Swarm. Not interested. Not interested in getting back in there at all. And some Goliaths coming out here now, too. Additional Lurkers, additional Defilers. The front door is still locked for Hero. He can't get out of here. Dude, that tank can hit this. Holy crap, the range on that thing when it has the extra vision. It's just dead impressive. Oh, Lurker gets killed because of the splash damage that still functions within the Dark Swarm here. Yeah. Sunken Colony trying to fight against these Vultures. A lot of Vultures are getting thrown away. I almost feel like that's just throwaway units there. Oh, this is looking so terrible for Hero. He has every tank ever made by any Terran player in the history of StarCraft outside of his front door. Slow pushing on him. Killing that barracks would help a little bit, I guess. This is not a drop overlord, is it? It is. It's a Lurker drop lord. He's trying to get some damage off on Flash. And he's at least going to stop some mining here, which is fun. That tank needs to get on out. Actually, just picking up, and the Lurkers decide it's time for them to sort of get on out. Another great scan. Lurker ends up getting a couple kills before he gets put out of the ground there by our resident tank expert, Flash. Man, I cannot believe the setup here. I just don't know how you break this. It's like Dark Swarm, Dark Swarm, Dark Swarm, Dark Swarm, Lings go. But even then, the splash damage is still viable. And if you try to go Sky, there's already the Valkyrie tech. I mean, obviously there is, because you have the Starport and you have the Armory. And the Armory is for upgrades for mech anyway. But man, 4 base to 4 base, this is a horrible, horrible position to be in for Hero. I just don't know what he does. He's going Queens. Okay. So maybe Spawn Broodling on these Queens. I think it's 150 energy. You can only do 1 of those. Wow, nice Lurker hits. You can only do 1 of those per Queen with full energy. What is even in these guys? Anything? There's a single Zergling in that Drop Lord. That's it. That's all there is. Can he still not take down this? Where did all the Hydras go? Hydra, get on this high ground and hit that sucker. Is he going? You can't just go. Man, that was not the best control. Okay. 193 to 145 supply. The good thing for Hero here is that the longer this goes on, the more time he's given to be able to max out himself. Flash has been maxed out, effectively maxed out for a couple minutes now. Okay, more than a couple minutes, probably a few minutes. And what this does is it gives Hero the chance to max out on the tech that he wants and the composition that he wants. He's got 20 Zerglings on the way. Lurkers just keep getting destroyed here. Just keep getting blown apart by these tanks especially. Still no 5th base. I like the spider mines down here. This north area maybe you can take if you're Hero, but you got to get out of your front door first. The front door into the 3rd and 4th is locked. The front door into the main and the natural are locked, and the tanks keep getting closer. Tanks trying to take down... Oh. Lings trying to take down these tanks. No. Tanks trying to take down these Lings. Yeah, it's working. I'd say it's working pretty darn well. This is so sad for Hero. Ever since Flash was able to get 4 bases up. Okay, that's a 5th base for Flash. Hero's just not been able to make anything happen here. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this right here. That's just... These are +2 tanks, ladies and gentlemen. They're almost +3 tanks. Another huge group of siege tanks moving in to try to take down the 3rd base. They haven't really been super interested in it. These Lings just running in And sure, maybe friendly fire will hit one of these tanks. Maybe it will kill one of these tanks, but there are still 17 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's like 15 or 16 at the very least. Oop, Defiler gets snapped out there too. Metasynaptic node plus 50 Defiler energy. Being researched. Hey, you 5th base? No, you don't get a 5th base, says Flash. Your 5th base is a joke. And I'm going to destroy it real quick. Hold on. I mean, these lurkers are doing their best. I get it. And actually getting a Dark Swarm up. That Defiler up there getting some jobs done. And you know what? Maybe he is going to save his 5th base after all. I'm sorry for maligning you, hero. Didn't mean to. Down the ramp. Dark Swarm over a little bit. I would kind of liked it down here a little bit, but high ground is not bad. This guy's still just slow pushing. This is the slowest siege tank push I have ever seen. I mean, Lings roll in, but the staggering is amazing. This is just Flash, you guys. This is Flash at his very, very best and very most unstoppable is when he has a hajillion tanks up. Okay, there's your spawn broodling. All right, so the front line of tanks is effectively taken down. Friendly fire's there, but nope, not enough. Hero taps out. Flash is victorious in 21 minutes and 15 seconds. Yeah. And this marks another game wherein the Zerg player goes queen against a Terran who's meching and loses. I don't think I've ever seen a Zerg player go queen and succeed. I just don't. I mean, this was happening. Look at these little fire circles here. I like them. I like the fire circles. There's one here on this hatchery too, which is not good. But yeah, Flash was pushing on the 3rd. He was still pushing on the main base despite the loss of these 4 tanks at the front. He was expanding all over the place. Hero was not able to harass him at all. The only harassment, the only real damage done here to any bases that Flash had were basically the Muta attacks. Killed maybe 2 SCVs, and that was it. And the Valkyries were there, and that's all she wrote. He wasn't able to really harass any other base. This one, for a couple seconds, there was that lurker drop over here, and there were some units that died here, but that's not even at a base of Flash. So, I mean, this is just Flash at his most clinical, at his most terrifying. This is why he's considered the greatest StarCraft 2 player of all time. Might be some arguments about that in the notes, or in the show notes, in the talking about the Falcon Paladin hour. But that is a podcast that I do with an Australian. There's a link in the description. But yeah, in the comments. And you can fight about who is the best player, Flash, Bisu, or Jaedong. All you want in the comments, but for my money, it is Flash, even though I am a Zerg main. All right, so let's go ahead and check out this final score. I feel like it's not going to be very, very friendly to Hero. Yeah, I mean, total score here, 13,000 to 12,000. Really not super nuts there. Units killed here, 317 to 152 killed by Hero. Lost almost 400 right there. Almost 400 of his 500 created for Hero. Now, this is interesting. Structures killed by Hero in this game is 2. That's massive. Flash killed more structures than Hero did, and most of Hero's structures are overlords, which don't count as structures, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And then, yeah, just the fact that Flash was able to be on 5 bases to the 4, got his 4th base up at the same time as the Zerg player, delayed the 4th base quite a while, more gas mined, more minerals mined, and more spent here by about 4,000, and then just a bajillion tanks. Now, both Protoss and Terran, or both Protoss and Zerg players are pretty upset at the efficiency of tanks. Unfortunately, there will not be another balance patch for StarCraft Brood War ever, so let's get creative with it, right? Let's find ways to deal with these huge, huge tank balls on the ground. That said, I don't know that Hero really gave his best effort here in this game. I mean, part of the problem was opening Muta and just getting shut down so hard. He delayed his 3rd base for that, and maybe just don't do that, and then you're okay. Then you're up economically, and you're on even footing, and good stuff happens. But maybe better luck next time. All right, that is going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.